Hey everybody, Black Ninja 797 here, and welcome back to Myth Busting Mondays. I hope you guys are excited for today's episode, because for the final myth, my friends, we're not going to be doing anything meta-changing, we're just going to be doing something fun. And for the final myth, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be seeing if you can win Nom Chomsky by just simply using grenades. It's all in good fun, and I think this will be really enjoyable footage for you guys to watch, so I hope you guys are looking forward to it. If you guys end up enjoying today's video, please end up dropping a like, comment, and subscribe to show your guys' support. And as always, guys, let's get on with this week's episode of Myth Busting Mondays. Myth: can you knock a witch off of No Mercy's rooftops by using a pipe bomb? Alrighty guys, so this myth is going to be submitted in by Zoe, and Zoe wants to know, can you knock a witch off of No Mercy's rooftops by using a pipe bomb? I believe that this is supposed to be taking inspiration from one myth we've done before in the past, if you can end up knocking a tank off of No Mercy rooftops. But this is going to be with a witch, and it's also specifically with a pipe bomb. So Zoe, my friend, I'm going to be testing this out for you and seeing what we can do. So I've got me and the boys here, and we are on No Mercy, and we're just going to be just simply spawning the witch as far as we can off of the ledge, and then throwing a pipe bomb in such a certain spot that the explosion will cause her to fly off, hopefully, and not off to the side or even towards closer to us. So that is what we're going to be doing here in just a second. Alrighty guys, so here is going to end up being the footage of our myth testing. This is going to be just the boys spawning the witch at the edge, and as you guys can see, I'm trying to arc the pipe bomb in such a way that it knocks the witch off. Even though I was looking up and down constantly, the witch is no longer in sight, so I believe that this ended up working. Now, since it's kind of hard to gauge if whether or not that the witch fell off or not because of the smoke, I'm going to be showing you more gameplay footage of another attempt where there was like 4 witches and I was in third person. So this gives us honestly the best possible view given the circumstances. I don't know if I can exactly disable the smoke in the settings somehow or use a mod so the pipe bomb smoke goes away so you can see a 100% clear view. But from me and everyone else's perspective, it looks like that the witch is falling off. And I understand that's not perfect footage, but you just have to take my word for it. So I'm going to label this myth as confirmed. You can indeed knock the witch off of No Mercy's rooftops using a pipe bomb. Myth: can you wash off boomer vomit by going underwater? Alrighty guys, so this next myth was submitted in by Glabursko. Now Glabursko, I really like your myth here because this is a really interesting question. If this works in the literal sense, then this would be very, very cool attention to detail, because it means that the game is almost like realistic in a sense, because hypothetically, no matter what's on our faces, we should just be able to wash it off underwater. So that's what I'm going to be trying to do here in today's video. So right now, I am vomited on, and I'm not only in third person, but also in first person, just sticking my head underwater while I'm at the boathouse on the finale of Death Toll. Now, when I personally got vomited on, I decided that I was going to be under the water for a decent amount of time, like a few seconds or so. So that way, if it was able to wash off, even if it was only by like a little tiny difference, that it would be noticeable. And the thing was, though, is it didn't really feel like it was doing anything. So I decided, hey, you know what, we probably need a control. So what I'm going to do is I was going to spectate the guys here rather than doing it on myself so we can see it in real time. So what I decided to do was have a boomer vomit on Drages and then just count the time so that way we know what is our base, what is our control. And from my calculations, it was at least about 20 seconds. Now we're going to be having a boomer vomit on both Glabursko and Dan, and we're going to have one of them go under the water while the other one just sits there and just see if there is a difference in terms of the vomit effect. Alrighty guys, so Glabursko and Dan are ready, and I'm going to be spawning a boomer and shooting it here in just a second. The idea is that Glabursko is just going to be standing in the water, and Dan is going to submerge himself under the water, and we're going to be seeing if whether or not that Dan can remove the vomit quicker, even if it's by like a second. Because even if it's a little tiny bit, I'm going to count the myth as confirmed. However, though, if it's the exact same time, I will just end up labeling the myth as busted, because when it comes to this myth, we're trying to see if it's any bit quicker. Not by a lot, but just simply if it is quicker. So right now you can see their highlights, but unfortunately, even though that this is something that's pretty obvious, this myth is busted. They ended up getting cured at the exact same time, and you cannot remove the boomer vomit no matter what you do, whether it be going underwater or even changing the settings, because we have done a myth before like this in the past. I think the boomer vomit is just something that's just permanently in the game unless you were to just flat out hack. Myth: can you hang on a car that is hanging over a ledge? And if so, can a tank knock you off of it? Alrighty guys, so this next myth is submitted in by Star, and Star, thank you for commenting once again, my G, I appreciate you. Now technically, Star, this is like 2 myths in 1, but I will make an exception for you, my friend, just because you have been only commenting just recently and you're new around here, and I want to make sure that you end up having a good time. So ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be doing essentially a double myth here. but that is fine. So what we're going to be doing here is we're going to be testing out the first part, which is going to be, can you end up hanging on a car that is hanging over a ledge? And the best way to show this is going to be on the parish, which is what he wanted me to do anyway. And as you guys can see, Drages is hanging on this truck here that is in the broken part of the bridge. Now, technically, this is a truck, this isn't a car, but it is a motor vehicle. Now, I'm going to be also hanging on the back here of the truck, and this is a completely different location, but it's the only area that we were able to find on the map that had enough surface area that allowed us to do this. So technically, this very first part is at least confirmed, but we still got another part that we want to test, which is going to be the tank part. Alrighty guys, so here comes the tank part. So in a second here, I'm about to spawn in a tank while Dan is hanging on a car. Now keep in mind is that this particular spot, Dan is going to be hanging on a car that's not a naturally spawned one. We put this here when we were testing out myths. So you can count this however you want based off of whether you count the cars that default spawn, but this is what we're going to do. So here we go, I'm going to spawn a tank and let's see if it launches us. 3, 2, 1.
I've got a blast!
Well, Dan's gone flying, so at least I'm alive. Okay, never mind, I got bitch slapped too. Alrighty, Star, well, when all is said and done, you had a really interesting myth, and I did enjoy testing it, and I'm going to leave not only one, but both parts at confirmed. So thank you once again for submitting your myths, my friend. They were really fun to test. Myth: can a smoker grab you through the safe room door? Alright guys, now this myth was also submitted in by Glabursko, and Glabursko ended up also testing this myth with me, by the way, guys. So he does already know the results, but I'm still going to be showing you guys them anyways, because I think you guys are going to be surprised at what they are. It's not exactly what you think, it's got a little bit of weird on the side, because let me just show you. So I'm playing here as a smoker, we're on No Mercy, and I'm going to be trying to shoot my tongue to this little slit in the door at the bots. Now, for a split second, I do grab them, and you can even see based off the captions that they're reacting to me grabbing them. But the tongue shortly thereafter does break, which means that it's not for long. Now, this little slither in the door is extremely hard to shoot through, but my crosshair is lined up, and it does work for like half of a second. Now, it wouldn't surprise me if that they prevented this from happening to avoid you just cheating, because this is going to be basically your safe haven of the game. They do want you to feel safe in here, and if you could just shoot through the little crack in the door, that would be kind of unfair, so I would understand why. Maybe there is an invisible barrier that you can't cross when this is technically closed, and it ends up making it where it's only if it's open that you can cross said barrier. But it is working, though, for like half of a second. It's really weird. I thought it just wouldn't work at all. But I technically don't know where to place this because of the fact that it's only working, but just briefly. Here is a little bit of better footage. This is going to be footage from Glabursko himself, and Glabursko is playing here, and it's going to be showing what it's like from the survivor's perspective for this to happen. Now keep in mind, this is also on a slightly different safe room door. This is the one that's more open and has like the bar design. But you can see the smoker tongue literally is just breaking. It's not even doing anything, it just goes through just to fall. Now the door part about this myth is the really interesting part. The door that is ironically more open has a harder time to allow your tongue to go through, whereas the one with the little eye slit has the easiest time for the tongue to go through. So this is something that is a little bit tricky to place. Now, because you technically can, for a minute second, grab the survivor, it's not inherently busted, but it's not in a way that it's like a reliable strategy, and it's only so brief that it like barely passes the threshold of remotely even being confirmed. So since this is something that I'm just honestly having a hard time to place, and even though I already discussed this with Glabursko, you're just gonna have to trust me on this one, I'm gonna have to leave the myth at plausible here, because yes, technically you can grab the survivor for like a split second, and this might mess them up somehow, but they're not going to die. It's not like you can permanently choke them where they start taking damage. And if they're in there by that point, it's really not a useful strategy to do this. You might as well just go for another survivor that's lingering around somewhere. But yeah, that's my personal opinion. You can look at this as confirmed, you can look at this as busted, but when it comes to putting a myth at plausible, basically my rule of thumb is that if it's confirmed in my mind, but I just can't prove it, or if I also just think that it's kind of hard to place, and I just generally don't know where to put it, I'll put it as plausible. Alright guys, now we move on to the final myth of the episode. So this is going to be, once again, can you end up winning Nom Chomsky by using grenades? We're going to be testing out all three of them, the pipe bomb, the Molotov, and even the bio bomb, and just see if any of them give us the results we're looking for, because some of them might give us different collision effects. Alrighty guys, but enough with me dragging this out more than I need to. Let's move on to the final myth of today's episode. Myth. Can you win Nom Chomsky by using grenades? Alrighty guys, so here comes the final myth. Let's see if we can end up winning our boy with the boys while using grenades. So we're going to be spawning pipe bombs first, and then we're going to be doing Molotovs, and then we're going to be doing the bio bomb last. Now, this is going to be something that's a little bit on the tricky side, because realistically, a lot of you guys are probably going to be like, there's no way in hell you can even do this. Because the pipe bomb is going to blow up everything, it's going to explode the good guys, just as much as the bad guys. Now, even though it's a very valid point, I want to point out this, though, is that there's more bad guys than there is good guys. So let's say that you were to hit every single target, good or bad, there is still going to be enough points that you can end up earning from the entire game that is enough to allow you to earn Nom Chomsky. So even if you hit everything, it's enough points. So it's a matter of what your ratio is. Can you get more bad guys than you still get good guys, as if you were playing the game normally? Now, you're just going to be doing this with a pipe bomb, so it's kind of hard to judge your timing, but when you're spamming them all over the place, when you end up having 4 people doing it like we're doing, it's going to make it where you can kind of pretty much hit every single target that's flying by. And you can see we're getting up there. We got 500 plus points, so even on our first attempt, we were not doing that bad at all. Then on our next few attempts, we were getting better and better, and this one we ended up getting, funnily enough, 69. Ha.
Nice.
Now, while we were cackling maniacally like a whole bunch of man-children, we decided that we were going to be playing some more, and we ended up getting 720 this time, and we only just got better and better and better. Now, even though we were having a good time, we were confident in ourselves, we didn't want to end up losing our focus because we were having times where we were getting less score. There would be some times where we'd end up getting really low scores, in fact. So it's just going to end up being a game of practice. Some games we did good, some games we did really good, and then some games we did average, and some games we did bad. But over time, we were starting to develop a strategy and consistency. We channeled in our Allahu Akbars, and we decided that we were going to be committing to this to the fullest extent, so we just spammed pipe bombs left, right, and center, in the front, in the back, and our score kept going up, and the more it went up, the more we were getting excited, the more we wanted to blow up things. So eventually, we ended up getting just enough time left to finally get just enough points in order to earn the man, the myth, the legend, Nom Chomsky. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him, baby. So yeah, guys, even though it's a little bit crazy and unpractical, and we also even got 1,000 points as a little bit of a bonus, it is confirmed. You can win Nom Chomsky by using grenades, but before we do officially wrap things up, though, I want to show you guys the results of the other 2 grenades. Okay, guys, now we're going to be testing out the Molotovs, and we're going to be having Nom Chomsky even by our side, and he's going to be giving us the memes and be our good luck charm. Now, when it comes to this, we're not going to be trying to reset this. We're just going to be seeing if we can earn 750 points again, because that's how much Nom Chomsky costs. Now, with this one, you guys might be thinking yourselves being like, okay, the pipe bombs were possible, sure, but there's absolutely no way in hell that you can do this with the Molotovs, because the Molotovs, you can't time these, you can't burn down specific parts, you pretty much just burn down everything, and when it comes to this, I do agree with you, this one we were not confident in whatsoever. But the thing is, though, is that just like I said at the beginning of this particular myth, there's more bad guys than there is good guys, and if you're hypothetically hitting everything, you do get more points, and I'm not even kidding you, our very first attempt at doing this, we got enough points in order to end up getting Nom Chomsky again. In fact, it was easier doing it with the Molotov than it was with the pipe bomb, which I thought was even more of a funny thing. But with the bio bomb, though, yeah, this did absolutely nothing. It didn't even do anything. We got 0 points every single time we did this. It doesn't even, like, end up doing a direct impact. It just will literally do nothing if you hit something. It just does nothing. It's just a fart cloud in the background. But I mean, hey, 2 out of 3 ain't bad, and I'm once again going to be labeling this myth as confirmed. But yeah, guys, that's going to be it for today's episode of Myth Busting Mondays. And I do hope you guys end up enjoying. If you did, please consider dropping a like, comment, and subscribe, and all that beautiful stuff to show your guys' support. If you guys have a specific myth that you would like to see featured in next week's episode, please, by all means, put them down below in the comments. I really would love to see what you guys come up with. If you guys would like to financially support the channel, I tremendously appreciate if you guys could go check out my Patreon. It's always linked down below in all my YouTube video descriptions, or you guys could use supporter creator code BlackNinja797 in all caps in the Fortnite Epic Games item shops, because Epic is my very first sponsor, and they were sponsoring today's videos, so shout out to Epic Games. But yeah, guys, I hope you end up enjoying seeing another YouTube video from the most unique YouTubers are ever going to see. Thank you for watching, guys. I love you, and peace out.
Hey, meme lords. Jesus here. And you better have enjoyed that video there by the eternal god Daddy Ninja. You should probably subscribe too, or the mighty Moab will come for your balls. If you enjoyed the video, you might like it too. And give me the memes. Flash, bang, boom!
Myth. Is Dan a piece of shit? Dan's a piece of shit. Dan's a piece of shit. He's a piece of shit. Dan's 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 a piece of shit. Confirmed.